Good morning, guys. Well, good morning from a very nice Sunday morning here in Minsk. So today I'm recommencing my trip back to the provinces, and today we're going to go to Bobruisk, and it's a journey with a bit of a difference. So join me on my journey for the next 20 minutes or so for a very historical and informative trip to Bobruisk. Let's do this. Well, good afternoon, guys. We finally arrived, well, not into Bobruisk, but quite near Bobruisk. So where we are right now, while we were on the way to Bobruisk, we took a detour off the main road from Minsk to Bobruisk, which is about 120 kilometers southeast of Minsk. And we're at a place called Shatkovo, which is the main German cemetery in this part of the country. And back by popular demand, Ihar is back. I know you guys wanted him. I've been receiving a lot of messages. He's a highly requested guy. He's in demand. Anyway, Ihar, take it away.
Hello guys, thank you very much for your attention. Really, thanks to Neil, we have possibility to give you information about the history of Belarus, about interesting places. And now we are really in very interesting place, because this is Shatkovo, not far from Bobruisk, a very big cemetery which was built in 2011 by German government and by, of course, permission of Belarusian government. And here we have remains of soldiers, German soldiers from the eastern part of our republic. Here we have remains of Wehrmacht and SS soldiers from Bobruisk, because we will see new places where Germans were buried, and some of the remains of the soldiers from, for example, Vitebsk, Mohelov, and another cities. Here we have remains of 15,600 German soldiers.
Yeah, and you were on, while we were on the way to Bobruisk, where we took a detour off the main road, you said that there was a big battle fought here in this region in July 1944.
June and end of June, July 1944. Here in Panyushkovich and in Shatkovo, Germans tried to break through Soviet lines, defense lines, and tried to escape from Bobruisk. And here we are already Red Army soldiers, and they destroyed a lot of soldiers. And as I remember, when I was a child, a lot of guys, a lot of local people describe us the situation that on the whole field we can find bones of the soldiers, of the German soldiers which were killed during these battles. And of course, really severe and crucial battles were here.
Okay, let's go for a walk into the graveyard, and let's have a look at some of the graves.
And here we have our driver Dima.
Yes, of course. Without Dima, we wouldn't have got here.
Dima, say hello to the people. Hello. And here we have typical German, present German cemetery, because we have just gravestones with the surnames of the soldiers, surnames of the different Wehrmacht soldiers, Luftwaffe, and maybe Allgemeine SS, but this is just names and surnames and date of birth and date of death. Just
19th the 2nd, 1944.
Yes, you see here beginning of 1944. This is not operation of Bagration, but also we have a lot of dates of summer 1944, people who died during these big battles. I once again mentioned that here we have graves or remainings, bones of 15,600 Nazi German soldiers.
And this graveyard where we're here right now, this was actually built by the German government some years ago.
German Union of the Military Cemeteries, 2011 it was built. Once again I say, and really very interesting, because this is not only remains from Mohelov region, this is also once again from Homel region and from Vitebsk region.
Wow. When you think about like 75 years ago, more, It's still within living memory. People who are still around today who still remember what happened.
They're really good,
Yeah.
because I think that all these guys, of course, they were German and even Nazi soldiers, but they died on Belarusian land. They were enemies, but now they are not enemies. As my grandfather who participated in the Second World War, he was a soldier and he received Medal of Honor, of Soviet Medal of Honor, for destroying the German tank. He said, well, these guys are not my enemies, because they are now just laying here, and this is only the history of the Second World War, because he was really my grandfather was a soldier of liberation. He was a soldier of Red Army, but this is just the truth about the Second World War. And now we have typical European history here.
It's kind of vast,
Yes.
the field.
And here we have on this place we have graveyard. We have remains, so they were buried here. On this. And
Yeah, I see the stones in the ground here.
Yes, this is sectors of the cemetery, and here we have small, for example, stones with the surnames of these guys. This is families came here to put here
Yeah, Sean,
Heinrich
Wilhelm, Sean.
Schaum.
Yeah. Give the
I
date of
see
birth.
April 11, and we have
27 to 6, 1944.
2706, and this is we have a Bagration operation. We have liberation of Belarus from Nazi occupation, and main battles here near Bobruisk.
Yeah.
Oh, by Bobruisk.
By Bobruisk. There's another guy here. Wilhelm
In
Kaufmann.
memoriam Wilhelm Kaufmann,
Yeah.
6 December, and we have December 1943. Here maybe also Bobruisk, but not during the Bagration operation.
Okay. I'm here, guys, right in the center of Bobruisk, on ulica Socialistskaya Street, Socialist Street. And hard to believe, back in 1918, the Polish army passing through here had their main victory parade up and down this street. And as you can see around me, we see some fine examples of 19th century architecture here in Bobruisk. All right, let's move on. Okay, guys, we're in the center of Bobruisk, and right in front of me was the old NKVD building.
This is a former hotel called Berezina Europейская, and of course it was built in 1897. We have on the top the chimney the date of building, and it's interesting that during the interwar period here was NKVD and militia, and during the German occupation here was SS and Gestapo. And it's interesting that all of these buildings were built by Jews and for Jews, and of course it's a historical center of former Bobruisk, really very beautiful old city. And when I was young, when I was small, I was every time I mentioned that here is a better decorations to make video about, or to make film about 1920s, because it's really beautiful historical part of our republic.
So we've arrived at the Bobruisk Fortress, or what's left of it here. So Ihar, I'm going to leave it to you to explain everything.
Yes, dear friends, we are next to the remains of the Minsk entrance gate, Minskaya Brama. This one was one of the main entrance gate to the Bobruisk Fortress. Bobruisk Fortress was built at the beginning of the 19th century in 1810 because geopolitical situation was very, very difficult, and Russia preparing the war against France, and Napoleon prepares for the war against Russia. So Russians decided to build two big fortresses, Dinaburg, Dvinsk, Kaugov Pills, and of course Bobruisk Fortress. And here we have remainings, unfortunately, after big entrance gate. And it's interesting that I was born in Bobruisk, and I remember 1990s, beginning of the 21st century, and the level of the S was here. All of this was under the S, and here we have the level of the S, because the first stage of this building was under the S, and people just took earth from here, sand, and now, thanks God, we have the structure of this entrance gate. And it's interesting that from that hole, from that entrance, was a big bridge to here. And well, soldiers came from the side of the city, and they were in the Bobruisk Fortress. And it's interesting that in 2006, 2007, when they took land from here, they found a big coat of arms of the Russian Empire, a big two-head eagle. I think that this two-head eagle was destroyed by Bolsheviks and was under the sand and was found at the beginning of the 21st century.
Wow, okay, so let's go straight to the fortress and let's explore a bit more about this place. Fascinating place, it has to be said.
Interesting.
And how are we going to get down here?
Let's go this way.
Okay, that's the safer way.
Yes,
okay.
I think.
So this is actually the close-up of the Bobruisk Fortress, and it was actually intact until the end of the Second World War, when the local commander of the Red Army, a guy called Tretiak, decided one day to destroy the fortress. He said he didn't need it, and so he began planting bombs, detonators, and about 2 days into what he was doing, he got a letter from Minsk to tell him to stop it. But unfortunately, most of the actual fortress itself was already destroyed. And if you can see on the other side of the bank, that's where we were, and there was a bridge coming straight across from there over here to the main entrance. Of course, now it's all gone, and unfortunately, guys, we can't go inside like most things here in Belarus. Everything else is just boarded up. This is not like Moldova and Georgia, where you can visit a lot of ruins like these and walk around and walk inside. Belarus is totally different. What a fascinating place this must have been back in the day. Wow. Come back here about 70, 75 years ago, when this was intact. And you can see the result of the destruction of the building. Of course, there's a fortress like this in Daugavpils, which is in Latvia. Of course, this is built by the Tsar way back sometime around the 1810, just 2 years before the Napoleonic invasion of Russia. And you can see here one of the main walls, the damage. So where we are right now, guys, this is part of the entrance to the fortress, and as you can notice here, there are bricks everywhere, and the reason why is because there was an explosion here at the top of the building. The roof caved in, some of the walls on the inside caved in, and some of the bricks actually fell out. Take a look at this. I was just walking around this building, and I've actually seen some very interesting graffiti. Okay, so we have a guy here, Pasha. Wow, 1945, just after the war. And here's another one here. Wow, 1927. Wow. This guy here, Moya Lubov, my love. Whoever she was. Wow. Fascinating, guys. Goes right up. Not a people actually know about this place, outside of Bobruisk, of course. Okay. Now we're going to go to another part of the fortress. So my way to follow, on my way to explore with Ihar and Dima. Yeah. Let's go. Let's check this place out. Let's go in here. Let's see what we can find. inside this building, if we can get in. As we can see, most of it has caved in. Alright, I'm going to follow Ihar. And Dima will be back here. What's this place?
1841.
Alright. Wow, check this place out. It's been used as a den of drinking by the locals. We can see some Alivaria bottles. Wow.
But be careful.
Yeah. Because we have some holes in the floor. Yeah. Wow. Bit of a hole. Nice and cool in here. A bit of a hole in the roof. Yes. As I mentioned, guys, it's very, very hot outside. Wow. Okay, check it out. Check this out. Yeah. Okay, whatever that is. It's very dark inside. I have no light. And I can't go in. Alright. Long, long hole. Okay. Wow, check this one out, guys. 1841. Yeah. Very spooky. Deep inside one of the battlements. I can barely make out where I'm actually going. Of course, I don't have a torch or a light. Wow. Fascinating, guys. Check this out. Wow. You can see. Some parts of the fortress up towards the ceiling. Long destroyed. Wow. Let's give you an idea. Of course, some of the locals have been inside. Plenty of beer bottles. All right, guys. Let's go up to the very top. Whew. Up the spiral stairs. Let's hope I don't fall over. Oh. Oh. Up to the very top.
Yeah. So you have here defense lines.
Mm-hmm.
Especially made also until the end and the beginning of the Minsk entrance gate. But unfortunately, after Second World War, it was destroyed there, and only this wall we have here.
It's just left.
Yes, it's just left.
So we are right here at the administrative headquarters of the Bobruisk Fortress. Ihar is going to explain a bit more about this place.
Yes, here we have original building. No, during the 18th and 19th century it was not so high. It was only one stair, but now it's 3 stairs. We have here the level of this building, and during the 1918, 1919 here was headquarters of the Polish army. First it was headquarters of the General Józef Bobruisk. In 1918, the headquarters of the chief of the first Polish Corps, and after that, during the Polish occupation of Bobruisk in 1919-1920, it was the headquarters of the Polish army, Poznaniacy, Poznańczycy, the Polish military units who came from Poznań here. And during the Soviet period, it was the chief headquarters of the Soviet army here in the center of Bobruisk Fortress.
Now, we may be standing in the middle of a field, but this field does have important significance.
Yes, graves. Every time I say that Bobruisk Fortress is a big graveyard of soldiers of different armies, and in front of the fortress we have a graves of the Soviet soldiers. But here we have a place where in 1919-1920 was made a big cemetery of the Polish soldiers. That's why, unfortunately, the monument which you see on the picture was destroyed after the Second World War. But the place where Polish soldiers were buried.
So we've come to the final leg of our tour, thank God. And yes, I think after this, I think I'm just so exhausted. I'm tired.
That's great.
I'm hungry. Okay, so we're now here at the old German army cemetery.
Yes, we are in the center of Bobruisk. This is very close to the place called Tavarish Cinema, and here we have old church. This is Orthodox church from the second part of the 19th century. And in this place, during the German occupation of Belarus, was a big cemetery. Until 2016, all of these remains of the German soldiers were buried here, and unfortunately, just few people who live in Bobruisk have an idea about this cemetery. And in 2016, Belarusian authority gave possibility to take these remains from the east and to bring them to the Shatkovo.
Then, so it's been a long day. We've been out all day. It's been very hot. So let's go and grab a beer.
Yes, beer and draniki, of course. It's our tradition with Neil, and I wish you all the best. I invite you to Belarus, and I hope that we will be healthy and wealthy. Живе Беларусь!